Oh shit, here we go again.
Low, low, man. Low, low, man.
You like contracts, right? You're a contract guy.
I read contracts instead of conventional pornography, yes.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
No. Wait. Wait.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
しっかり足を踏み出して、体重を移動しながら腰をひねり、肩に力を伝えて、
Emotional damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you here. Of course, it's your boy, Illegal Mindset. And this is a channel where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney living over here in Asia. And welcome to the 300K celebration. Now, let me know if the sound is all right in the chat, because today my headphones, I don't need them today, but they weren't working properly. So I might have to fiddle with the sound afterwards. But good to see everybody here in the chat. Good to see everybody here today. I appreciate all of you being here, all 1,000 of you being here to hang out with me and talk about the channel. We've got some big news. I've got some good news, some big news, some channel updates, some things are going to happen on the channel that I want you guys to know about. Things are going to go down. And some exciting stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I'm super excited, and I kind of know the direction I'm going to go with a lot of things, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm glad all of you are here for the ride today. We're going to have a nice time in celebration of the fact that the Somali arc is really what appears to have pushed me over that edge, you know, the whole Somali arc, along with the later covering of Ethan Klein and Hassan, etc. Largely since it's Somali, I've got some Korean soju here. This is a very nice, very fancy, very fancy high-end Hwayo, which is a nice high-end brand, not the convenience store swill. This is the good stuff. It's the strong stuff, the premium stuff. So we'll do a little cheers as we go down the line. I'll do one or two as we go here, and there'll be one or two that are really special for me. But just thanks for joining me here today, guys. It's a very casual stream, so you guys can send in any questions you have for me. If there's any AMA, stuff like that, happy to see that. But thank you all for being here. Thanks for everybody, especially that gave a congratulations or a thanks, even though you guys may not have stuck around for the live, because I know some people come in, they drop comments and leave. So thank you for that. And thank you for everybody who will comment on the video. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all you being here. You are all welcome. And I'm happy to have you here. It's really awesome. It's been an amazing ride on YouTube, and I wouldn't have made it here, and I wouldn't be here without you guys, the supporters, the people in the chat, the people that are showing up every day. It's absolutely something that you guys made happen, and not me. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. It seems the sound is doing good because nobody's complaining. So we're good. Yeah, soon 400K, soon 500,000, soon $1 million. We got to dethrone the legal schmiegel. And take the crown on YouTube, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on this channel. So thank you so much for everybody, and let me just go through and thank the members here that are just dropping big love. First of all, Alex Moffat with 50 legal mindset memberships. Now they changed the UI for my reaction gifts, so I have to scroll down here. But let me use a VTuber for this one. This is a good one.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega-based.
Giga-based donation of 50. Thank you so much for that. We've also got Mr. Melancholy for one. Thank you. Florinova So it's been great watching you this past year and change. Thank you. And you know, my changes, I don't view them, and we'll talk about that with the channel. I don't view them as changing what I do. I view it as improving. Right. I am a guy, a person, an individual who constantly tries to improve. Sometimes I take one step back, but I try to take 2 steps forward. Right. And sometimes I'll go in a direction, it doesn't work out, and I try something new. And throughout the history of this channel, I've tried a lot of things. I've done a lot of different topics. Some topics are super popular. Some topics are not. Some things people like have really lawtistic interest in, and that's the thing they have lawtistic interest in, but 99% of people don't care. So I've learned better to help people out, to do what people want to do, and how to sort that out. And it's because of you guys helping me with that, and me listening to the chat, listening to what people really want me to cover, the topics you really care about, that a lot of people care about. When people drop that to me, when you guys, the chat, tell me what you want to hear, and I see a lot of people saying that, I give it to you. I'm a man of the chat. I'm a true man of the chat. So I always try to be here for you guys. So thank you for that. Maximura says premium soju for Andrew-san. Tongsu for Johnny. Oh no, I think he's still drinking Zero, which, you know, it's not horrible, but it's still like not. It's not classy. It's not classy. But yeah, I'm going to see Max over in Tokyo, and we're going to talk about our Tokyo meetup because it's one of the big channel things I've been working on for a long time. And it's something we're going to do. I'm pulling the trigger on it. We're going to do it. So if you're in Japan, or you can get to Japan next week, we got an opportunity for a meetup. Hopefully it's really cool. It's a really great time. We're really working to make something cool there, for you guys. Really short event, but should be good to meet everybody who's over on the Asia side, particularly in Japan. So I'm really excited about that. JP Ravenfire for 20. Thank you so much. Yes. So I want to say a quick thank you. JP is one of my mods. He's awesome. Came on during the VTuber saga, my Niji Sanji saga. And I want to thank all my mods, particularly Danielle, my head mod. You know, a lot of chats are crazy and insane, and my chat is also pretty insane sometimes. So it takes really awesome mods to be able to control the vibe of the chat, make sure it stays in alignment with my presentation, with what's going on. And these guys do a great job. They don't have like a crazy trigger finger where they're banning everybody for nothing, but they are keeping it together in the chat, keeping it positive, keeping it educational, entertaining, stuff like that. These guys do a great job, JP and Danielle, my head mod. So big thank you to both those people. I could not be here without those people in the chat. And particularly Danielle has been here since the beginning of the ride. So big shout out to Danielle. Much love for Danielle, who's been here since the beginning, really. Scorpion Black Dragon for 10. Thank you so much. Morning Sin, welcome as a new member. Neil says, congratulations, you're in this day. Awesome. I plan on it. I fully plan on it. Gator says at work, so I'll have to catch the vibe. Congrats on. Thank you, Gator, and thank you for helping me with the Niji Sanji stuff. You know, getting into the world of VTubers was a crazy thing, and I would not have done that without the people that were supportive of me in that arc, coming into an area and educating me. You know, and I took that, like I take everything else, with humility, coming into that with respect, knowing that I don't know everything, just like with Korean law. The Somali conviction team and the attorneys I spoke to, the people that know about the law, they taught me about stuff. I didn't know it all. And I couldn't have done it without the people in the VTubing community that taught me about VTubing and gave me this love for this really awesome thing that is a nexus between streaming and anime and entertainment. It's really the future, I think, if you go down the line. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. VTuber fans, you are appreciated. We're going to talk about the VTuber arc. Don't you worry, we're going to get there. But I haven't forgot about any of you guys. Doug Diaz for 10. Thank you. Flora Nova also dropping 10. And Robert Von Beek, who's been a G with supporting the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know what that gives all of my haters?
Emotional cabbage.
And we have indeed collected a lot of haters, which once again, I some other people feel differently about this, but haters can be my motivators. The fact that I have haters means I'm over the target. I'm covering stuff that matters and I'm ruffling feathers, but I'm doing it objectively, covering the law, being as fair as possible. And if I'm going to take haters for that, that's fine. I am always happy to collect haters that cannot be objective or rational. The delusional people, no matter what political spectrum they are, where they live in the world, who they are, how much money they have, I don't really care for on this channel. Delusional people, crazy people, let them go off and do that in their little, basement, right? Their grandma's basement. Nothing against grandma. I love grandmas out there. Shout out to grandmas. I got some grandmas that watch my channel. But this channel is for people that can be objective, that can be rational, but also want to have some fun. That also want to, enjoy things, not have a boring legal presentation, not have somebody that's going to put you to sleep. That's what the channel's for. Sitsitar Luchai for 20. Is that Songsip? Memberships. Thank you so much, Kopun Kop, to my friend over there. And thank you for the Tai Jin. That was amazing. Good stuff. One of the things I want to do, should I spoil this? One of the things I want to do, particularly with my VTuber channel, and this is something I'm put out here, is I've been thinking a lot about some cool stuff and what I can do on that channel. And one of the things I want to do is highlight some of the cultural stuff, the food, the cool stuff to do over here in Asia, stuff in Thailand, stuff in Japan, stuff in Philippines, stuff in Korea, and share that with you. And I thought, you know what, the VTuber channel is a great venue for that because it's kind of off topic from legal news. People that are interested in legal news aren't necessarily interested in lifestyle stuff and other stuff like that, but that's perfect for a VTuber channel. So that sort of stuff I think will end up on that segment, but I haven't forgotten about that. And I appreciate everybody who's here from around the world because we have a global audience now. And also shout out to the people who run into me in the airport and say hi. I had a very nice guy. I'm not going to dox him or say his information, but he was flying from Phuket to Bangkok. He was like, "Your legal mindset." And I'm like, yes, he was very nice, very cool guy. So thank you. If you ever see me in the wild, feel free to come up and say hi, just be friendly. It's really awesome to meet people out there. Cryo Capra for 20 legal mindset memberships. Hold on. I guess we got to do a Ramsey for this one.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
King Lugia dropping 5. Thank you, King Lugia. You've been here for a while. Senpai has noticed you. Thanks for sticking around and supporting me. I Heart Costco as a new member. Welcome. And then Peter Savala for 20 legal mindset memberships. Thank you. Let me get a good one for this. This one. It's good.
Hello, Peso Department.
Thank you, guys. We have fun here. We do that. It wouldn't be fun without the chat. Spark Shot for 16 months. Thank you. Welcome. And glad you've been here for 16 months. That's VTuber arc time. So glad you came in on then. Sigrun says, congrats on 300K. Legally minded. Super chat you, but it's coming from Anime Expo, MetaView VTubers. Awesome. And I do want to get, and this is something I did say in the future, I do want to do more speaking stuff. So I do plan to have places where I go and maybe do a panel or, we'll be part of a conference or something and then let you guys know, hey, I'm going to this. Hey, I'm going to be here. Hey, I'm going to do that. And while I try not to take many flights stateside because that's 30 hours of my time each way and it really drains me physically and emotionally for the whole week, I will consider it for bigger events. So maybe I'll be at Anime Expo in the future. Steve C says, which topic has earned the most haters? The new stuff around Hassan and all this stuff, there's a lot there in terms of volume. Obviously, he's a bigger entity, right? So the haters are more numerous. But I will say a special shout out to the derangement of the Somali folks, because while they are small and infinitesimal, they are absolutely unhinged. So those haters were probably, the Somali people are probably the most unhinged because they mirror Johnny Somali, they mirror him. But the Hassan is the volume. I think so. Leprechaun Gold for 50. Thank you. Forever a menu to dreamer. And by the way, let me say this real quick because I'm going to talk about this later. I do have a PP today. In case you guys thought I wasn't going to whip out a PP today, you were absolutely wrong. What would a legal mindset stream be without a PP? Yeah, that's right. We got it. But I'm not going to show it to you yet. You got to wait to see my PP. You got to wait, guys. I'm not just gonna. I'm a classy lady. I gotta wait to show you my pee-pee. We gotta get past a lot before we go there. You gotta take me out for a drink first, which maybe I'll provide myself. Big Buddha says drunk mindset. I haven't drinking anything yet, so I'm totally sober right now. So I'm 100% sober. I actually don't drink that much, but in spirit of celebration, it's sometimes necessary, right? Not in excess. I'm a big guy of moderation, but it's necessary here. Alex Moffat said, "Let's do it for Johnny. It's for Ramsey. We're doing it for Ramsey." Mads Lawson says, whoop. Hunter with the super sticker, thank you, the 250. That's the Vitali ration. Artemos says, Andrew showing ears, lewd, not Siso. Forever Minion Dreamer says, congrats, LM. The only contract I will assign is a contract to your channel. Thanks for updates and teaching us legal advice. My pleasure. I hope I can educate. I hope I can entertain. I hope I can teach you guys a little something every single stream. This one's more fun. We're not as much education here, but next stream, I'm going to slip in education. Even when I'm totally destroying someone's legal argument, I try to do that and then teach you guys a thing. Like even the other day when I was talking about defamation, a lot of people said they didn't understand the U.S. distinction between attorney and lawyer. Mind you, every country does it differently, right? Every country does it differently. But a lot of people don't understand lawyer is just someone with a law degree. An attorney is someone who's just licensed to practice, right? Whether or not they work at an official law firm or not, you are an attorney if you are licensed to the bar, and you are a lawyer if you have a law degree. A lot of people didn't know that. And, I try to slip that stuff in there so you guys are all learning, stuff that's law or legal adjacent or about the field. So you guys know more every single stream and you feel like you're coming away with some value here. Right. You got to have some value. From Manwan, thank you. What would you do if somebody drop kicked Johnny Somalian's trial day and ran off with his hat? I mean, okay, we all would think that's like, we would feel emotionally the same way.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
However, I can't support that. You shouldn't engage in physical violence. That's not a good thing to do. Right. So as much as that would be something that everyone would be clapping for, don't do that. It's a bad idea. But, let Ramsey hang himself, which is what he's been doing. He's been literally putting himself in the dumpster and lighting it on fire. Gosh darn it. Came a new member. Welcome. DJ Case is a new member. Thank you. Grandpa Singir. Is that a Magic the Gathering reference? You're going to trigger my magic, my old playing like Arabian Nights and Urza's Block. Grats on 300K. Thank you. Llama said, is a lawyer, YouTuber, VTuber pipeline real? It is now. It is now. The Siggy says, happy 301K. Actually, we're at what are we at right now? What is my channel at? I don't even know where we're at right now. I think we're at 312 now. So this is kind of already outdated. We've already passed 300. We're already on the way to 350. But I made a point of doing updates every 100K. Eventually, that'll become quicker and quicker. But whatever. I like an excuse to hang out with you guys and have a casual chat. Crimson Spot says, Billy the Cat. I'm late. You're still good. You're still good. Peter Park says, congrats to 300K. Thank you. Thank you. Freddie says, knowledge is power. Absolutely. And the more you know, the more you can help yourself, the more you can be your own judge. At a very least, be your own judge. And the reason why I throw that out there is I'm giving you the education, the basic level education for you to make informed decisions, to read stuff. And maybe when you're reading something else, when I'm not there, when I'm not watching, you're reading something and you remember something from my stream and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's from a legal mindset stream. That's the difference between defamation and copyright. Or, oh, this is a criminal case, not a civil case, or vice versa. And understanding what the big differences are between those, right? Understanding what's the difference between a jury trial and a judge, right? Stuff like that, which can go a long way. It can go really long way. Or maybe you're called to sit on a jury and you are now more informed member of the jury, right? You understand jury nullification, right? You understand voir dire and what's going on when they're asking you questions. I hope that will help you at some point in your lives. Repton says 16 months and 300K subs achieved. Congrats. Also, VTuber want to win. I don't want to give a date, but it will come. And I want to, with the VTuber stuff, I'm going to say it 16 times this stream. It's fine. I love you guys. It's coming, but now I want to make it a bigger thing, right? So before it was going to be okay, I'm going to try this out, see what I do, bumble around. No, we're going to do this clean. We're going to do this awesome, right? Banky says the Rumble link at the end of the last video was peak. Thank you. Thank you. So, a lot of people commented because my outro is very old. So I still have my Rumble link. I have not actively streamed on Rumble in a while. Now, fun fact, after I commented about that, so this is really funny. So after people tried to tear me down, Hassan tried to call me a Rumble lawyer, which is not true because I don't primarily stream on Rumble. Rumble actually reached out to me. So I have not talked to them in depth yet, but it's very funny how these people just literally end up self-owning because people are like, wow, you don't? Okay, well, let's talk. Let's get you back in here. So it's hilarious how these people just end up wrecking themselves and helping me, which I am all here for. I am all here for people that think they can get a W over me, and then I end up just winning, right? It's great. Japanese Demon Lord of Bar Lucifer's like, congrats, Andrew. First, we got Mushoku Tensei Season 3 trailer. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. And we also got to see you past 300K subs. It's been a good week. Awesome. Well, thank you. And congrats. And keep up the good work out there. Dark Sky Maiden says, loving your videos. I enjoy your commentary. Thank you. I try to make it as objective and fair and apolitical as possible. That's something I'm really working on, and I'm really trying on that so that everybody feels welcome here and everybody can get a fair shake at a comment when it comes to a legal analysis. Marcine says, here's the 300K more. Thank you. Florinova says, my bad. I meant my 2 months over a year as the change. I like all your content. I like how you approach everything fairly. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I have my biases. I'm not perfect. I have things I like and things I don't like. There's certain anime I don't like and I'll never watch. But that's up to you. You guys can be your own judge on anime and watch what you want to watch. If you like magical girls, go at it. I'm more of a mecha guy. I like isekai, which might be a problem. That might be a little toxic. Maybe isekai is a little toxic. But I admit my flaws. Mama Akko says, congrats on 300K. So now do you have to do a 3D VTuber model? Well, maybe. I ultimately want to be in a position with VTubing where I have like multiple models I can just switch. So I have like 2D, 3D, and like different ones, different types of things I'm doing. Like if I'm doing a different activity, I will have a different like appearance for that activity. So for example, if I was doing some sort of like, let's say it's like about cooking. Maybe I got like a chef's outfit, right? Or something about like, I like food maybe, or something like that. Or if it's like, something from like a beach or something, I got the sunglasses. Like I'm getting ideas with this. Like VTubing is awesome because you can easily become whatever, whenever with a click of a button. And it's amazing. And there's so many great assets out there and so many great artists out there. It's really exciting to be able to work with great artists and work with people that have vision. Seamus McGinnis says, whoop, whoop, hooray. Thanks. For Every Mini Dreamer says, have to teach us a lot. And I even share it with my friends when something comes up in a conversation. So thank you. Loving the new info and be wise for future legal stuff. Congrats again. Thank you. I always try to stay wise. Adam H says, since you've been a really good lawyer who has been doing a good job at coverage, I'll give you a super chat to reach the goal. Thank you. We're trying to go with a shower of gold. Up to 400K. Thank you guys for contributing. Spider Bro says, congrats to 300K. I will shower you with the golden. Thank you. MK Fenris, congrats on 300K. And thank you for getting me, MK, for helping getting me involved with VTubing. You're one of the ones that helped. Jopi for 200. So any speculation on what the ELU Parliament stance might be? If Stop Killing Games initiative reached the threshold, it's pretty big. So do you think the sheer numbers can influence them, hypothetically speaking? I think they have to take it seriously. I think with Stop Killing Games, they're going to have to seriously think. Now, the problem is that Ubisoft and the big, the other European players, and not that there's that many European industry players, but the big Euro game companies are obviously going to have a huge influence on legislation. I hate to break it to you, but coming from a corporate counsel, I'm going to tell you this. I worked for a company and I wrote state legislation. Let me say that one more time. This is something I can say now, and I'm not going to say which state, but I literally wrote the laws verbatim. And now I had help. We were working together on a team, but our team wrote the laws that were verbatim. That means line by line adopted by the state legislature. So if you want to talk about industry and law, I'm honest with you guys. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to hide the ball. That's what happens. And my concern is that these people are going to have the pen and they're just going to write what they want in, and it's going to look like it is what they want, but it's not going to be exactly what they want. You do have to be careful about it. So that's why if that regulation comes up in the EU, we all have to stay on top of it. We'll read it on this channel and we'll go over it. And I'll tell you where the industry is probably coming in and where the industry is probably doing things, because I did that. So I'm the best person to rat them out. I'm the best person to speak about that because I know that they're going to try. Now, people say the EU is big on consumer rights, and probably they will take it into strong consideration, right? That's one reason why maybe I have a little bit of hope. But, you kind of have to know a little bit of the dark side to defeat the dark side. Celtic Fox for 10 says, embrace the isekai. We support you when others will try to tear you down on that. Congrats on 300K. I love your coverage. Yeah, I love when people try to shame me for liking VTubers or being a weeb. It really is like they've missed the boat here. If they think me liking anime is gonna be a teardown, I got news for you. Most of the world disagrees. I live here and over in Asia. I saw a 50-year-old Chinese man in front of me on the plane watching VTubers. Let me say that again. A 50-year-old Chinese man on the plane watching VTubers. It's everywhere. Okay? It is everywhere. And people who don't realize that are just missing the reality. They're just not opening their eyes to the numbers. Citra Luchav, 200 Thai baht, was a Song Roy. So congrats on 300K. Prepare for my gift. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Kopun Kop. Thank you. You're amazing. Pirate Skeleton 499 says, as a vet and a former Disney cast member, I want to thank you for being a good, not boring, and informative legal entertainment. And thank you. And also, I had a Disney arc that I covered, and I'm going to give a special thanks. I'm going to go back through this and thank everybody who helped me on my journey, whether it was to 100K or 200K or even 50K, 20K. The Disney arc was really big. It helped me out a lot. But the litigation there is done. So my role here is done. Just as eventually, as sad as it is, Somali's saga will close and we'll turn to something else. And I do hope that, I know some people are just in it for one thing and maybe you only like one topic, but I do hope that some of you can hang out here for the ride. And I do hope that the 2,000 people, the almost 2,500 people we have right now, you guys are in here for the long ride, because we're going to have a fun one together. And it's more fun when you see the whole story come out, the whole channel come out, the whole picture come out. I think that's way more fun to see, but that's my personal opinion. Patrick S says, congrats with 300K. Duncan on Assam will get you to that million. It might. FD says, starting 1L. Thanks for showing us how to keep it objective. Yeah, and I want to, perhaps I'll try to figure out some advice for prospective lawyers. I've actually been asked to speak to, on the law in certain educational contexts and schools and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do some of that over here, and when I can, to share my knowledge. Becoming a lawyer is going to change, and I'm going to talk about that some tomorrow. Because part of the delusion with some of the haters is they don't understand the practice of law is changing, and law is going to change. A lot of these law firms that are around right now, these big law firms, are not going to be around in 20 years, maybe even 10. And if they are around, they're going to be totally different. The structure of them is going to be totally different. If they want to survive in the future, they need to start acting like the future. But the problem with the legal profession is it's very protectionist and it's rooted in the past. And there are ways to update that. There are ways to make it better, right? But a lot of people aren't moving on that. And then maybe I can help gently nudge the legal profession and future lawyers in the right direction and help you guys, if you're thinking of going to law or you're thinking of starting your own practice, some areas to go into. And I'm older, right? I'm already set in what I'm doing. I'm YouTubing. I do immigration law here and stuff like that. That's my practice, right? But you guys can have other opportunities. You guys can go into legal areas that don't exist. Think about everything online. Think about law that's going to be related to AI, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff going out there. And you guys, if you get ahead on it and you understand it, you can be the guy. I know a person that came in and they were the first in Florida to cover cannabis law. And they made bank. They did great because they came in, they saw the winds were changing, and they went with it instead of trying to fight it. That's some advice there. Ricardo Fung says, thanks for the educational content. On a side note, join the rabbit, or should I say the horse hole. Play Uma Musume and join the grinding. Even Asmongold fell in the horse hole. Clop, clop. Oh, no. Hold on. Do I have the... I think I have to play the Rima intro because you're talking about horses. Where is that? It has been a while since I played that one. Here it is. I got you.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art as well. Some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get the help you need. I really truly hope you get the help you need.
Avoid the horses. Avoid the horse hole. It's me, Phil, for 5 says, I'm kidding. I love horses. Horses are great. I used to do horse riding as a kid. A legal mind says, Fibic, it's not 300K, it's 312. Well done. Keep them haters hating. Thank you. Sorry for lying to you guys when it's really 312. That's a mistake on my part. Maritsu, the art sheep, says, in a hypothetical creator class 3, which is not happening, would you fight against Somali? I think Korea would let him out of the cabbage field. Sure. I would box Somali. Or MMA. No, MMA, because I want to use like hands and feet. We've got to use all advantages on that. So MMA. I will MMA Somali in a hypothetical that won't happen, sure. Not in Creator Clash, in my own event. In the Thrilla in Manila, where, we get me fighting Somali, and we get like Hassan versus Sam Hyde. We'd finally make that happen, right? We'll do it in Manila. It'll be great. Rose Gold Cinnamon says, good morning, Andrew. Congrats. Level up. And for all the precacious response to the pseudo-intellect who's big-time coping and seething. Oh, wait for tomorrow's episode. Just wait. We're going to not only are we going to go through the brilliant minds of LawTube, the people that I generally respect and I generally think they're amazing people, they're smart people, and their arguments just condemn across the board, Hassan and his orbiters. Not only that, but we are going to debunk some of the weird other things they try to make up, which are completely irrelevant. So, and it's kind of like maybe a defamation part 1.5, because there's some things that they say that are just stupid, right, and irrelevant. But we're going to do all that tomorrow. Now that I'm back from vacation, you guys see I'm in my main studio. So we'll do that tomorrow. Tune in for that. It's going to be good. King Gizzard for $199. Thank you. Brett from Beak says congrats with 300K and early today and 12K subs late. So 88K to go for the next milestone. That's right. Gary Lee says congrats on your subs. Thank you. Sister Lucha said PowerPoint time. Okay, we're going to start soon. I'm going to get, let's see. I'm going to get like a couple more of these. I'll get the orange and yellows, and then I'll move on here. Jopi says for 200, to dispel a common misunderstanding for viewers, the initiative is only about the desire. It's up to legislators in the industry to shape the proposal to be voted on if they agree with the spirit. Exactly. So about Stop Killing Games, they don't have a bill attached. They don't have legal language attached to Stop Killing Games initiative. They don't. So the legislators would have to write it. So the problem is who writes it. And these are the types of things I like to explain on my channel, because the procedure is where the things happen. Oftentimes where things totally change is in the process. So if you just pay attention to the headline, that's not enough. Like for Stop Killing Games people, what I'm going to say to you is you can't give up now. So the channels covering Stop Killing Games need to keep covering that and watch it and report on it, because that's the only way this is going to come through, is if everybody keeps an eye on this and doesn't ignore it. If all you do is you sign it and you ignore it, well, then they're going to change it, and they're going to change it in a way you don't like. MK Fenrir says, I found out a coworker also watches you. I bragged. Awesome. Jopi says for 100, I really hope the EU Parliament will see this as a chance to win over gamers. Even though that goes against lobbyists. They've tried to win over gamers for a long time, and this is an easy W for them. It will let the people know. Jet Ray for 250 says, I found you when you first talked about Niji Sanji. How I watched every video and live stream you have. Thanks to you now, I know more about the laws of different countries. Congrats to me, congrats, and shout out to my Filipina and Filipino friends out there in the Philippines. Mabuhay. I love the Philippines. Great country, great people, and I'm so lucky to have not only talked about VTubers, which a lot of Filipinos love, but also the Vitali case, which is huge over there. Norbert Frolik says, hello, Uncle Mindset. Guten Tag. Let's face it, you're just weird. I am weird and based. Love the channel. Congrats on all your success. Keep up the good work. Gruß aus Deutschland und Prost. Well, you said Prost. He said Prost. So for the Prost, we'll do the first Prost for tonight. Prost, of course, for those who know, is cheers in German. I always learn a couple words in a lot of languages. One of them is, of course, hello, thank you, please, sorry. But cheers is good in all ones. So Prost to my people over in Germany. So Gemütlichkeit. Woo, good stuff. Okay, that's strong. So old mindset here is going to need to hit this water between those, because that is spicy. I'm feeling the Joseon Empire rise up with this soju. It is it is strong. Wolf. Keep up the awesomeness, Uncle Mindset. My pleasure. Been there, done that. Says the past week was Jeff's birthday. Can we make a toast to our good friend? I had a special segment for Jeff, but I will say it now. My good friend Legal Vices, he was my first expat friend. I know a lot of people are confused and they think I moved from the US to Thailand. That's not what happened. Anybody who's paid attention knows I moved to Korea. I lived there for 3.5 years full time. Like the whole time I was there, 3.5 years in Korea. Jeff was my first friend. He reached out to me when my channel was small. He wasn't in it for the clout. He wasn't in it for anything else. He was in it to be my friend. And he was a lawyer there. He was a mentor. He taught me so much about Korea, Korean culture, Korean people. He spoke fluent Korean. He was an expat there for 30 years, 30+ years. Everybody loved him. Everybody had a great experience with the guy. We had so much in common. And I lost him last year. It was his birthday. And, we lost him last year, December. And it was really big. It really impacted me a lot. I have a video dedicated to my friend Jeff. If you guys want to go watch that. But you have to remember the people that got you to where you are. And Jeff, I would not be here without Jeff. And he taught me a lot about handling stuff too. And I didn't always handle stuff as maturely or as professionally, but Jeff did. And a lot of that I take from him. And a lot of the coolness under fire, a lot of the way to handle stuff with class, I take from Jeff. So I owe to these people my current state. I would not be this version of Legal Mindset without meeting Jeff and without meeting other cool creators too that have taught me a lot and really brought me up. So yeah, I will definitely do one for Jeff there. He's a good guy. He was a great guy. I'm glad he's survived by his son and survived by the memory of everyone who knows how awesome he was. So cheers to Legal Vices, my good friend, and always will be my friend until the day I die. Cheers. Woof. Good stuff, but strong, so strong. Oh, if he was here, he'd be in this chat with me. He'd be in the stream with me. Uncivil Law for 20 says hype for 312. I'm about half of that. Need to step up my game. Keep crushing it. Thank you. Uncivil Law, great creator. He's been a good creator throughout the main. He's been solid. He's focused on the law, which I always respect about him. He's got lawtistic attention to details. And anyone who wants to know about constitutional law or wants to really get in the really crazy like legal details, facts, the case law, go check out his channel. And he's going to be one of the creators I'm highlighting tomorrow. I know he had a San video just coming out, so I've got to review that. I know it's going to drop soon, so I'm going to review that tonight and we're going to do it tomorrow. One of the reasons why I'm doing my stream tomorrow is because of Uncivil Law. So shout out to him and doing good content. I always have the back of creators that are focused on objectivity and rationality. And one thing I can say about Uncivil is he has always been focused on that. Maybe too focused on that, but that's good. I'd rather have it that than the other way around. Right. So shout out to him. Great creator. And shout out to all the good creators. I know Mom and Trill in the chat, right? Small channels. Love them too, because the small channels of today are going to be the big channels of tomorrow. I was looking at my old videos. I was once doing 100 view videos, 200 view videos. I had years where I wasn't breaking 1,000 views. I wasn't breaking 1,000 views. I get 1,000 views in a second. I have more than that right now. 2,500 people watching this. You can make it if you're dedicated. You find your niche and you don't give up. Do not give up. Keep trying. And if you have to change a little, change it. If you have to do something like collaborate, do it. Right? You will make it. Don't give up. Keep doing it. It's a journey. It's a long journey, but it's worth it if you put in the time and effort. Do not give up. It's like the gym or anything else you're doing or learning a language. You have to keep doing it. Even when it feels like you're hitting a wall, you have to keep going back past that and do not give up. Do not give up. And Frank and Bean says, why Jerkmate servers down? This is a good second. What? Zuki says for $199, congrats on 300K. What are some of your favorite animes? Oh man, that's hard. I love anime. I love so much anime. I mean, I really love Shangri-La Frontier right now. That's a new one that I think is amazing. And I think it's got so much going for it. It's so deep. But there's so much out there that's good. I mean, I just finished ReZero. That was amazing. I'm a big Gundam fan. I like 8th Team. There's so much good in anime. And the thing about anime that people don't realize is the Japanese, particularly with anime, understand storytelling, and they understand storytelling to an audience, and they understand who their market is. They separate stuff for adult men, teenage boys, young men, or young boys, young girls, teenage girls, adult women. They know how to market, they know how to sell it, and they know there's a peripheral market for people that aren't in those categories but will still enjoy the content. Japanese the storytelling in Japanese anime and anime in general is amazing. And I think that anybody who just dismisses it as a cartoon, they're not men and women of culture. And I think we all need to learn from those stories, because stories are humanity. Stories are how we pass forward our legacy, our morals, our principles. And in a world that feels like it's devoid of principles, when you watch anime and you see the people, the interactions, the principles, the morals, you can connect with those. You can see a character in an anime and be like, that's me. Because you understand the elements of your personality that match with that. And Japan understands that. Japan doesn't try to homogenize characters. They try to make them unique. And I think that's what makes them stand out, is they have these characters which are real people. And they're flawed too. They're not perfect people. They're not Mary Sue's or anything else. They're perfect characters in their flaws and in their vices, right? Like maybe they're greedy. Maybe they like food. Maybe they're drunk. Whatever, right? They all have their flaws, and that's what makes anime so powerful, and that's why anime is doing so well right now, right? Shadow Lux Richie says, for the mango finger recovery fund. Oh man, my finger is recovered from the mango. I need a mango. You know what? Now I want some fucking mango. Now I want some mango sticky rice. Now you got me on this. I want some mango now. Laughing Man says, I used to watch Legal until when anti-Trump super biased. He called me ignorant live. Whoa, I didn't even know he did lives. Well, of course, look, it would be wrong to say, look, the Legal Eagle was one of the reasons I got on YouTube, because I looked at that and I said, his content is mid, I can do better. But he made a big channel, whatever. And I have learned from YouTube that this is an abundance thing. So everybody can win. We can all win here. We can all win in life. We can all get W's. And I like sharing W's with everybody. So, good on him for getting as far as he got. But I want to do things differently. I don't want to be political on this channel. I don't. That's not something I'm going to do going forward. Now, in the past, I covered like when politicians put out laws and how the effect of that will be, but I try to do it in a neutral manner. And I may or may not do that in the future, depending on what it is. But what I will say is I cover from an apolitical lens. I don't want to put in my legal analysis a political dog in the fight, saying this is my team and their team. I just want to say this is the law and this is what's going to happen, regardless of what we feel about it. And to be fair with you guys in the chat, and this is what's going to be in the PP, a little bit spoiling the PP here for you, a little bit of a PPTs, if you will. It's going to piss off people on all sides of the political spectrum. At some point, am going to piss you off, whether you're on the right, left, or center, because you may not agree with what I'm saying. But understand, I'm coming at it from, this is just how the law is applied. This is just how the law functions. So if you pass a law and it has this effect, that's just what's going to happen. Whether or not we feel one way about it, this is what will happen objectively. Like, for example, right now, and I'll give a great example. This is a perfect example. I cover immigration law. Right now, a lot of the toughness of immigration law is coming down on innocent people. So there are innocent people that are being, delayed, let's say, because of increased scrutiny. Now, some people will say that's good. Some people say that's bad. I'm not here to tell you whether that's good or bad. I'm just here to tell you that's the effect. So if I'm processing, let's say, a marriage visa for a client, and I have to tell the marriage visa client, hey, this is going to take an extra 6 months. That's just the way it is. And that's what I'm here to tell you, the way it is. And if you don't like that, you can unsubscribe, you can leave the channel. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Whether or not that aligns with your political beliefs is up to you. And you can take that and be your own judge and do whatever you want to do with that. But I'm here to give you that. And that's what I'm here for. Period. Walking Corpse for 10 legal mindset memberships. Oh, I love that one. That's so good. All right. Let's do
Emotional damage.
all my haters right now, particularly Somali, who I love it because Somali thought I was never going to do anything other than him and I was going to only do him forever. He doesn't understand LawTube. He doesn't understand LawTubers. He doesn't understand the internet. It's like LawTubers go from topic to topic, and we do cover, at least I cover topics deeply, but I move from topic to topic. We've moved from Amber Heard. We had Disney. We had Rittenhouse. We had, now we go Somali, Vitali. Now we're covering Hassan, Ethan Klein. There's going to be many topics we're covering in the future. And we're going to move from those, but we're going to cover those at a deeper legal level, not just at a surface drama level. Asian Dragon says, congrats to 300K goal. I saw 50 Minutes of Shame show some parents who want a picture with Jack Doherty. Why would some parents allow their kids to watch him? They should watch Legal Mindset and Fast Facts. Thank you for that. More people should watch me instead of Jack Doherty. But look, people are going to watch dumb content, whether it's on TikTok or any other platform, and they're going to keep doing that. Okay, let's go do a little speed run here. Joshua says, congrats to 300K. Thanks for covering SKG, Stop Killing Games. As a game dev, I'm interested in hearing what you had to say. Was a great treat. Here's your road to 400K. Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate that. And good luck as a game dev. It's a tough market out there. So good luck. Oyamada said Pirate Software made his take on Stop Killing Games, and it got him into trouble because he misrepresented an initiative. Was there some Pirates point that jumps at you saying, yeah, that will happen? Now Pirate Software is someone that people should simultaneously think and question when it comes to Stop Killing Games. Obviously, he was overly against it, and that was something to question. However, he was right on this. This is something I will give him credit for. You do need to watch the regulation, because with regulation, there is the danger of overregulation. I literally told you how the industry writes regulation. I told you because I did it. I did this. I'm confessing to you. I'm confessing my sins to you guys, although I guess I have to play this one.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
So I did this thing. So because I did this thing, his comment about industry taking over regulation is accurate. And we need to be vigilant about that. And we need to read it and keep up with it. So I will keep up with that because I understand that. Amanda Main says, just want to say thank you and congrats finding your channel while mourning both parents passing. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, that's horrible. That must feel horrible. I'm so sorry, man, Amanda. So thank you for keeping me from going crazy and helping me stay on track for law degree. Hey, Amanda, don't give up. You know, my father passed away while I was in law school, and I had to go, identify the body and go to the morgue during my law school finals. That was tough. I had to move a final. Luckily, my professors were compassionate enough to give me time to do that. And I understand that. And this is the hardest time for you. But let me say one thing. The fires we go through, the challenges we have make us who we are. I wouldn't be at 300K unless I went through challenges, unless I went through problems, unless I had things I did wrong and things that happened to me. Keep going. Don't give up. Stay in your law degree, stay in your focus, and do it for your parents. Do it for them, because they would want you to be successful. They would love you. They would want you to be at that next level. So keep going and do not give up. Crimson Splat says, I do have some issues with Japanese storytelling. While your points are very true, they fail in logic too. Rule of cool instead of proper world building, but when they do it right. So here's the thing. No country is perfect. No stories are perfect. Anime is not perfect. Anime has a lot of unrealistic things. Anime has a lot of problems. But what I focus on, and Crimson, what I'm going to focus on my channels, and this is on all my channels and even my VTubing and my other channel talking about moving abroad, I am focused on the positives. Now, I'm not going to lie about the negatives, but I want to tell you guys what the upsides are. I want to tell you the positive side of stuff. I don't like being a negative Nancy. I'm a positive guy. I like to positive people around me in my daily life. My friends are very positive, improvement-based people, right? That's who I surround myself with. I don't have negative people in my life at all, personally or whatever else. So keep focused on what they're doing right. And if you don't like something, just understand that. And if you just understand that, you can work around that. It's like countries. Every country has a pro and a con. Every country, America, Canada, Germany, Thailand, Japan, Korea. But focus on, okay, does this work for me? And how can I learn from this? And I think if you focus on that, you're much happier in the end, which ultimately isn't that the goal, at least for me. Do you speak Thai or Japanese? Pompo pasatai nitnoi. Nihongo choto. No, I know enough to do very basic interactions. I do. So after I come back, I'm going to Japan for 7 days. I am going to enroll in an official Thai class. So I want to level up from basic, conversational, get my taxi where I want to go, to conversational. So I want to go like basic conversation to intermediate conversation. So I'm going to level up on that. Japanese is a second on my list. So after I go with Thai and I get that to a high level, I will go to Japanese because I want to learn more about that. And also it helps with understanding the culture. The language is always highly tied to the culture. Teeny Bopper said, congrats to 300K. Thanks for being a real one. My pleasure. Hypnotic and Rapture for 10 said, congrats to 300K, Andrew. With all the malicious, defamatory, false accusations Hassan has made to many popular and wealthy streamers like Nux and you, will you cover the lawsuit against Hassan? Yes. And look, I may not be the one to sue him. Although, once again, I'm not saying I won't. By the way, the most common comment I got in the comments was, will you please sue Hassan? And I'll say to the camera, hold on, we got to turn this down. And I got to go. I'm not saying I won't, but I'm not saying I will. And we'll just leave it at that. And by the way, the best thing is, if any content creators are out there too, if you're thinking about a lawsuit, don't talk about it. Just do it. That's always the best thing, is just do it. Work quietly, move in silence, move in quiet, make your moves, and pull the trigger and make sure you have a headshot. Don't go for the legs. Don't go for the knees. Go for the headshot. When you got the headshot, you take the headshot. And what I think is genius about the Ethan Klein lawsuits is he has a headshot. Ethan Klein has a headshot on Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron. And that was genius. That was literally genius. They have no defense. And the fact of the matter is that because no lawyer out there on the internet or anywhere has given a legal argument, not an emotional argument, not that the system is screwed. Nobody's given a legal argument, not one argument on the whole internet as to why they might prevail. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That nobody on the internet, not one lawyer, has said they're going to win in court. They might say it's unjust, And I saw some minor lawyers, some like minor Hassan clout chasers or, whatever, that were saying, oh, well, the system is broken. Okay, well, the system is broken. That doesn't mean you're going to win. You're just going to lose then. So you're admitting you're going to lose. It's crazy. They're cooked. They're cooked. Yes. In the words of the internet, they're cooked. Michael Schmidt says, Glückwünsche und Grüße aus Deutschland. Vielen Gruß. Hope you're out there. Viel Glück. Love my people in Germany. I may be in Germany for, this is a little spoiler. We're spoiling on this chat. This is good stuff. So there's going to be a real Somali documentary, not some Somali Discord fan film, not some other garbage that simps for Somali and hates me, whatever. There's going to be a real one that is really financed. It has big money behind it. It may come out in Berlin at a film festival. So my German peoples out there, if something's going down in Germany, I will know we're going to do a Germany meetup. We're going to probably do a Berlin meetup. So for those out there in Germany, that's going to be super based. It's going to be great. And it's going to be a real one, not bullshit, real. Right? This is going to be real. Like, it's going to be good. My full endorsement. Not the Somali fan film, not all that stuff, not the Discord stuff. It's going to be a real one. No Name says, "Grats on 300K. Somali crying even more." Oh, yeah. Pablo says for 5. So proud of how far you come, Andrew. Great work. Shout out to everyone behind the scenes, too. I learned a lot of these. Thank you. It's been a lot. Big shout out to my mod, Danielle. Behind the scenes, a lot is going to change. A lot is going to change in this channel. We'll talk about it in a second. Snowfire says, congrats. Love the outro. Have it as a ringtone. Awesome. Oh, embrace the congrats 300K. Mr. Cabbage Field Manager, thank you. Congrats 300K, says Narahime. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get like 2 or 3 more, then we're going to go on this PP. Thanks for being one of my inspiration for my journey into law school. Cool. Also, odds Casey Tron surprise marriage to attempt to get spousal privilege to a Snarkbot. That's not going to work. What it is that spouse is now liable potentially for her judgment. So she may have some guy that unfortunately is going to have to pay her bills. And even if he might have some legal argument that he's not responsible, practically when you're married, let me just explain this. When you're married, your finances are very much at stake here. So yeah, that's a practical thing. 300K for a Rumble fake lawyer. Yeah, it's funny. 300K on YouTube for a Rumble fake lawyer. Yeah, who primarily streams on Rumble, except for I haven't in like at least over a year. Rumble stopped being really, their UI was really not working with my streaming software. So stop uploading to that platform. It's simple as that. I don't want to spend an extra, 2 hours to fumble with something that isn't really that worth it. Jopi says, but if Rumble wants to talk to me now, we'll talk. There are formulas involved in storytelling. Japanese authors are insanely good at it. A key difference between the East and West is the dramaturgy curve. However, it's subjective to what people prefer. Exactly. It is subjective, and you might not like it, but I find it great. Starkiller says, found you with your first VTuber related stream and been following your content since. Really appreciate your mentality about listening and being rational. All the horror paid off. Yeah, man, absolutely. And that's the way I'm going to keep it. People are really trying to shake me. They're really trying to bother me and get me to stop being rational, stop being base, stop, putting the facts first. That's not going to happen. In fact, the more people try to do it, the more they're convincing me I'm doing something right. So if they want to really, shake me up, they'd stop hating. Because then I'd be like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But the haters are the ones that are actually convincing me I'm doing something right. Jopi says, for viewers, not you, Andrew, there's a thing called suspension of disbelief, where viewers and readers forego logic in favor of enjoyment. It's balancing act for storytellers and types of viewers. I agree. And sometimes you do have to put your imagination away, use your imagination and put your rationality away in order to imagine that you're in a world with mecha or a world with, demi-humans. Like cat girls or elves or something like that, right? And that's part of the story. People love Lord of the Rings, but it's got orcs and goblins and elves in it, right? And Shelob or whatever, right? But we still love it because we can understand that we can suspend our normal reality and imagine a reality where these things exist. Dantaza for 1,000 yen. This is congrats on the milestone. I'm interested in your take, hoping the covered on SAG, AFTRA, voice actors dilemma, and legal takeaways across the whole debacle. I will look at that, but to be honest, regarding SAG-AFTRA, a lot of the stuff in there, like there's a big talk with the guilds and everything else, and nothing happens. It's the whole nothing ever happens meme. They talk so tough, and nothing happens because at the end of the day, with a lot of these guilds, they're at the highest level, and this is once again me telling you the sauce. They're in cahoots with the industry. At the highest level, the highest level, they're in cahoots with the industry. Not at the ground level, not with the people at the bottom level, but at the highest level, at the peak of the pyramid. Those people they talk to the industry people. And that's the problem. They undercut a lot of those initiatives. So understand that with a lot of these things. Don Taz says, legal mindset for Kick streamer. I technically like place marked a Kick channel, but I haven't done it. I mean, and part of that is my opposition to Kick never moderating its users and not taking action on when they do things illegally. I think that's a problem. Amo223 Nurse Yikes says, congrats, Andrew. You deserve this and more. I'm happy to see you succeeding. Felicidades in Notre Rines. Repolo. Cabbages. Thank you. Gracias for that. Piebaker says, wait, Kirk got an ADA certification. You got Nick R's anime fans. Now you got his Rumble deal. Look at his wife or the MN Bridge trial. Once again, look, while I am thankful for all the law tubers, and I actually have a slide on the law tubers, there is no need to go into the drama and stuff like that. That's all what it is. And there's a million channels that cover drama. I'm going to focus on the law. If there's a big legal thing happening, I'll cover it. And I hope that people and this is a message out there to people, I will cover legal stuff and I'll be objective, but it's not personal. I think that a lot of creators like Destiny, for example, I briefly covered his complaint and stuff that's going to happen there. I think there's not much to cover now. I think it's going to settle. But it was nothing personal against Destiny, right? I don't have anything for or against. I don't really care. He can stream and do what he wants. This is my legal analysis. And a lot of people take that personally. It's not personal. Even with Hassan, it's not. I don't care about Hassan. How can I do whatever he wants? He can sit around and watch Labubu ads all day, right? Although I know more about Labubu than him because it's way bigger in Asia and there's way more stuff. You can buy Labubu by the pound here and knock off Labubu. I bet if I bought a Labubu that's a knockoff and I put it with a real one in front of Hassan, he wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right? Because that's the level of quality. I mean, there's stuff coming out of China that people don't know about, especially if they're not in Asia. They don't see this stuff. It's way bigger here. But go ahead and do that. But when he questions my legal credentials, when he questions my bona fides, that's when we have a problem. Digital Lee says, hey guys, does anyone know of a good anime lawyer who specializes in insanity, please? Asking for a friend. Danielle, please ban Digital Lee from the chat for mentioning insanity plea. Oyamana says, legal mindset, seeing that Ethan's case is located in Cali, what are the chances is in front of a progressive judge and the judge might dismiss the case or severely reduce the liabilities when they lost? Ethan Klein, as far as I'm aware, I don't know everybody's political leanings. As far as I'm aware, Ethan Klein is also on the left. So the question would be, are they a person on the left in alignment with Ethan or Hassan? And I don't know. So I don't think that that's going to come into play. It's not a right wing versus left wing thing. I don't view that as a political lawsuit. It's an apolitical lawsuit. So there's no politics in that insofar as one side of copyright is left wing and one is right. That's not really at play. So I don't think politics are at play at all. That's my take on that. And by the way, that's a fair question. I think that is a fair question. Politics do sometimes play into judicial decisions, and they do play into forum shopping and venues and judges. That's fair. That's an example of a political question that is relevant legally. And I will answer those questions. That's a good faith question. But saying that, oh, yeah, no, all judges are commies in California, that's not necessarily true. There are many jurisdictions in which you might get a conservative judge. In fact, there's a jurisdiction in California where the judge is like super giga-based and like on the right, and he's super pro to Second Amendment, and he'll always rule positive on Second Amendment in California. So you have to really look at things objectively. Andrew B. Yeti, everybody remember, welcome. Some would say it's frivolous if you go after him. Well, I would never, let me put it this way. I will never pull the trigger on a lawsuit that is frivolous. I'm not a vexatious litigant. I am a person who takes people out. Like Somali. Having fun, Ramsey? Are we having fun, Ramsey? Celtic Fox says, what would you say the best way is to learn a language? I lived in the Philippines for 6 months or so. I know basic Tagalog. I want to improve and learn a language. It depends on your language learning style. I can learn by myself the basics, but I need a class or a tutor or some sort of external factor to grow, like a personal trainer. When I first got in the gym, I got a personal trainer. That helped me the most. So I know I need to get to the next level, take a class, to have a tutor, to have somebody that influences me. I think that can get you from basic to intermediate. So if you've self-studied, you should have something that is keeping you accountable. Shimazu says, congrats on 212K. Next ever Somali Hassan Orbiter. There we go. Joby said the suspension of disbelief is more about how an evidently weak person IRL can, in the story, lift a car when it's a real world setting. Such logic errors are hard to suspend belief of. Yeah, and that's true. And there's some points at which, like, for example, Hollywood goes too far with that. And I will say that's a problem. Shepherds, welcome as a member. Let's get all the members here quick. Kid Loco said, let's go. 16 months. Oh, Andrew Sino. And Chris says, thanks for the membership. Cool. Chris and Chips is a new member. Let's see. Octeris at 300K. When's a Saba collab? You know what? VTuber arc. We're going to collab with the uncollaborable. I'm going to tell you that right now. Before the end, of the VTuber arc. Yeah, the soju's got me burping here. Before the end of the VTuber arc, we're going to collab with people you never thought we're going to collab with, because we're just like that. We just roll like that. Weeb stream when? We're going to talk about Weeb streams. Let's see here. Jopie says that documentary guy posting about videos with filming was trying to be very empathetic and pushing a racist narrative. Probably different. It won't. There's obviously gonna be Somali fan films, and there's people in his Discord doing stuff and putting out information. There's gonna be a real one from a real guy who's a real documentarian. Don't worry about that. Don't pay attention to the Somali Discord slop. That's garbage. Pay attention to the stuff from real objective people who are real serious filmmakers who work with real serious companies, right? That are not jokers on the internet or whatever else. So there's going to be a real one. Trust me. And you guys are going to hear about it first from my channel, not anywhere else. It's going to be first on my channel. Garrett said, happy milestone, Andrew. I saw my doctor this morning, 6-month checkup, nothing serious. And now I'm seeing my YouTube lawyer. Not bad. Monday morning. Welcome. Also, I don't know what this is, but thank you for the 5. Garrett Griffin says nothing personal, just business. That's right. Warren Brown, art and design, new member. Tammy Tianki as a new member. Jay Lozano says, here since Amber Heard trial, insanity plea. I'll let you go since you've been here since Heard. And Amo, Nurse Jax, welcome as a new member as well. Tank Rat, super giga-based over there in the Middle East, dropping the member chat after. Look at this. This is who you should aspire to, guys. 37 months a member. He's been with me through so many topics, from Disney, from Depp to Disney to, VTubers. I got him into VTubers right now to, Somali, now to Hassan. I love the fact that Mr. Piker didn't have anything legally to counter your factual statements, but crashed out defaming you. Looking forward to more emotional cabbage. And these people think they're going to break me with that. That same thing with Somali. They thought they were going to break me. They didn't realize that your boy has a spine. And your boy is used to it. I'm Laffy Taffy. None of this stuff is going to affect me, because ultimately, and this is something one of my YouTube mentors told me, the internet does not like people who spread lies, and humanity as a reflection to the internet does not like people who spread lies about people's career to try to destroy them, right? And those lies are blatant. They're obvious. They're clear. People know they're lying about this. It's clear they're lying about this. Obviously, the Somali Discord doesn't like me. They're going to say a bunch of false and stupid shit. Obviously, the Hassan people that are really deranged don't like me are going to say lies about me. But by the way, there's Hassan fans that comment on my videos. There's literally Hassan fans that comment on videos, and you're welcome, because they're respectful and they're listening and they're paying attention. And that's fine. You're welcome here. Even if you're a Hassan fan, you can be here if you're respectful and you're cool with the chat. We're good. But don't come in my house and try to take a crap on my lawn and expect you're not going to get the newspaper, right? Ron Crossman had a 5. Congrats on 300K. Keep grinding. Do we have any timeline until they file the response documents? What will your legal strategy be? We'll see. I don't know. Also, he said here for 2, you owe us a 40K stream. The Emperor protects. Okay, fine. We'll do a 40K stream. Revan's Disciples say congrats to 300K. Andrew, late for the stream. Well, you're here on time. Tulls for 100. Thank you for the super sticker. And last year, I'll get this one, then we're going to continue. Andrew, are you a fan of Attack on Titan? Are you caught up with the episodes? I am not caught up with all of Attack on Titan. I will say one of my friends, my very best friends here, loves Attack on Titan. Yeah, that's a separate thing. All right, channel updates, guys. Here we go. Let's get the PP, right? You guys ready for some PP? PP's in the chat. I want to see some PP's in the chat, or we go back to super chats. Some PP's in chat. By the way, Farah says congratulations. Gary says Hassan and Twitch gets sued yet for doxing. Not yet, but it could happen. And also, Japanese Demon Lord of Bar Lucifer says, my dad's 74 years old and the biggest weeb you'd ever meet. He's a Vietnam vet and has the biggest anime collection. That's awesome. That's super based. Okay, we've got a lot of PP in the chat. PP is strong in the chat. PP is strong in the chat. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, because we have an 8D there, we gotta keep going. Robert's got it. Unhinged Valkyrie's got it. What's up, Unhinged? And by the way, thank you guys. I know not everybody's giving member gifts today, but I appreciate everybody that has given them. we are able to have massive member streams because you guys give memberships and people get those gift memberships. So thank you for that. I do 2 a month every month. I try to do 1 for everybody and 1 for BLM. This last month, I think I just did 2 general. Sorry about that. But I do try to do those exclusives every month for you guys to AMA, ask me anything, do off-topic stuff. So become a member, get that extra value. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Lune becoming a new member as well. All right, let's give the PP. Let's give the PP. Here we go. Here's the channel updates. So we're on to business here, guys. First, the good news is we've had huge growth. And by huge, I mean huge growth. Let's pull this down for a second. And let me stop sharing this for 2 seconds. Let's look at how far we've come. So it took me about 2.5 years on my channel to get to 100K. Here's my 100K stream. It took me 2 years to get there. Now, look at when our 200K stream was, ladies and gentlemen. Look at when our 200K stream was. This is nuts. This is the crazy part. Stream 3 months ago. 3 months ago. So we've gone from 200K to 300K in literally 3 months. That is epic. That is amazing. And you know, Scrims, you didn't annoy me at all. I'm gonna get all your super chats. Don't worry, they're all coming. They're all coming. But yeah, we've got this huge growth. I imagine we're gonna get 400, maybe even 500K by the end of the year, and maybe even by my birthday we'll get 400K. Who knows? We've got a month left. Who knows? We're still rolling here. So we've had some massive growth. And that's a good thing. Now, there are going to be some other changes and stuff like that, but it's an amazing thing. And it's because of you guys, because you guys liking the content, because you guys are helping me making good content. You guys suggesting good topics helps me. And topics other than Somali, right? Which is really, really good. We're going to have updates to the channel and the videos. Now, I think that's going to be a good thing. Stuff like the outro, which is really dated. The reason why it has Rumble in there is because that's an outro from literally 3 years ago when I was doing more Rumble videos. Now I don't do that anymore, so it's still in there. Locals, I still do local stuff, so that's still up there. But you know, that we're going to have a lot of changes. So there's going to be new stuff, new channel branding, other stuff like that. I'm also going to have new people I'm working with. I have never had advertisers or sponsors or affiliates. That's going to change. So there's going to be more stuff I'm doing. But of course, whatever that is, I'm going to vet it. I'm also going to have a team. I've been doing all of this, and I know this is insane. This is because I'm a crazy person. I have been doing almost all of this by myself. Now, shout out to my Clipper Eagle, shout out to my mods, JP and Danielle. But aside from my mods and my Clipper, I've been doing everything for my channel myself. I do the research, I do the thumbnails, I do the editing, I do everything for the channel myself. Anybody who has a big channel doesn't do that. And I've had a lot of, I really have like to do things by myself because I'm an independent guy. I like the control. I like to be my own boss, be my own judge. So it's really hard for me to give that up. But I know that in order to grow to 500,000 and 1 million, I'm going to have to give up some things and I'm going to have to work with other people. So that's going to happen. And yeah, no, it's when you get a certain level, you got to have a team, and we're at that level. We're at that level right now. So I'm going to have to get a team. I'm going to have to get more people. It's going to have some changes, maybe some hiccups. And I apologize in the future if there's a hiccup or a mistake, whatever. Some growing pains, but we're on the goal for 1 million. We're on the goal for 2 million. We're on the goal for biggest legal streamer on YouTube in the world. That's where we're at. And then, of course, biggest VTuber legal streamer, because I'll be the only one and the best one. And people will try to copy me, but I'm going to be #1 VTuber legal streamer. It's going to happen. So that's going to happen. And so there's going to be some changes. I think it's a good thing. The VTuber arc is happening. So I already talked about it before. VTuber arc is happening. But my vision for that has grown so much. And what I want to do something amazing. I want to do something amazing. I don't want to give you a half-assed VTubing launch. Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I do it on my own. Yes, all on my own. All on my own. All of this. The PowerPoints, everything is on my own. Everything is on my own. I collect the clips myself. I do everything. It can drive me insane, and it's a lot of work. And remember, I stream almost every day. Now I'm going to probably start streaming every other day, and maybe even sometimes every 3 days, because I don't want to burn out. Burnout's horrible, and people end up doing things like Coke and Minnesota Sixes when they get burnt out. You don't want to go there. I really fight against burnout. I think it's a huge creator problem. So I don't do that. I don't burn myself out. And I think the fast facts have helped a lot to help me get stuff that fills the gaps, fills the days when I'm busy or I want to take a break or I don't want to stream because I just don't have the energy or I've got IRL stuff going on. It's really helped. And the fast facts are killing it. They're taking off and we're going to stick with that format. So some days will just be a fast facts. And I may try to have a more fixed schedule, but I also like to take vacations. I like to enjoy my life. I like to, have a personal life. So that's something that I'm going to continue to do, but I'm still going to be here for you guys and I have a commitment to you guys to be here and to show up and not to take a year off or 6 months off or 3 months off or 1 month off and to be here for you guys on a regular basis. So I try that. I have a whole travel setup with a separate laptop, a separate mic, a separate everything just because I want to stream for you guys. So that's my level of commitment. That's where I'm at with you guys. So I'm going to keep doing that stuff, but we're going to improve. QB for 50 legal mindset membership.
Yes.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Emotional cabbage.
Thank you. Haters big coping over that. Also, Twilight Dragon for 10. Thank you so much.
Yes.
T says it's pee time. Mary B Sunshine says almost to 1 million subs. Congrats to 100K. Yeah, we're gonna get there because I'm not going anywhere on YouTube. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna keep educating. Period. Dataza for 1,000 says legal mindset karaoke for VTuber. Oh no. Hold on. VTuber karaoke.
No. Wait.
Who cares? Says contribute to the pain and suffering funds Hassan did to you. Let's get this going. You're a real attorney here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Quark for 5. Thank you. Jay Good as a new member. Thank you. Jopey says I'd be consult people educated in what vetting tech sponsors. It's surprisingly common for sponsors lying about software, hardware, and which influencers then spreads poor vetting. So I'll be honest with you guys. One reason why I haven't done sponsors is I need a dedicated person, a human being that vets all the sponsors. So they do an initial vet and then I re-vet them myself. So I will never push something that has not been vetted because I think too many people out there on the internet are pushing stuff that they don't know what the hell it is and they don't know what it is. They don't use it or whatever else. I'd prefer to talk about something that either is my thing I'm doing because so I control it and I control the quality, or it's something that I trust or I'm using or I'm interacting with. So it's not something that's BS or something that's going to have a problem. And also I want something that's going to appeal to everybody and not just a niche. So Ammo says, I volunteer as director of cabbages. Thank you. You can have that position. Jopey says about the earlier example of suspension of disbelief. It was an example when when it's done poorly. Yes, that can happen. McCulloch says, I congratulated you on 300K just some days ago. Thank you. You're already up to 312. You're awesome. Greetings from Sweden. Shout out to Sweden. I was watching a really funny Sweden versus Norway comparison video the other day. I love the inter-country competitions when they're kind of fun-spirited. Boog for 20 Mexicans says, once again, I must commend you on your nice haircut. Thank you. It's not really a haircut. I just comb my hair. Although I will be getting a pretty good haircut this week. T says, karaoke, yes. Snowfire says, check out Blake Lively's subpoenas of 3 YouTubers. I have not seen that yet. I did cover that lawsuit, but nobody was interested in it. When I covered Baldoni and Lively, no one was interested in it. I tried, and nobody cared. Yuri says, been here since DG Sanji. Kampai. We're going to have a cheers in a second. Jeremy Beaver says, your community has helped fill the hole made by the loss of small channel on Modivore. Thank you. You're welcome here. And Jeremy, if you want a mod, reach out to me. Shoot me an email. We'll talk. We might have a reason, even if you don't mod, we have something you can help with. So we might be able to give you a place here. Plotty said, congrats. Also, please don't overdo the shots or by the end of the stream, you'll be arguing for the insanity plea. No. We're not going to. I'm 6'6". I'm 2 meters, right? And I'm 200 something pounds. So I'm a big guy, big boy. JP Ravenfire says, speaking of ReZero, the trailer for season 4 just dropped. Really? I got to check that out. King Conda said, have you seen anything in the case of Lily Teen? No. Congrats to her. No, I have not. I would need to check that out. Jan says being civil and respectful does not mean we need to agree on everything. Society is based on compromises. And again, grats on 300K. Thank you. And I completely agree. In fact, I would encourage my audience not to agree with me on everything. In fact, that's healthier. And if you have a question that you disagree with me with, ask me in a respectful way and I will answer you. Jay Good says, you're absolute legend in my favorite legal channel. Thanks for your passion and dedication, mate. I'm here for the long ride. I cannot wait to see what else is in store. Love from Australia. Shout out to Oz. I need to make another trip. I've never been to Melbourne. I've been to Brizzy. I've been to Sydney at Bundaberg, Gold Coast, that sort of circuit. I need to go to Perth and Melbourne and Darwin. Those are the three places. And Darwin's just random. It's just because of the history and the difference in being on the North Coast. So that's I want to do an Oz trip at some point. I'm not sure when, but it's going to happen. Maybe we'll do an Oz meetup. Zima Duvant says, if you talk about immigration changes in the U.S., I would love to know the difference between the U.S. and Asia. And I always try to talk about that because U.S. and Asia are very different. And the way we handle immigration law is very different. Job said, oh man, you need to read the other half of the super chat about the latest suspension of disbelief. You missed the point. Oh, sorry. I think I got that. Sorry, dude. I go from big to small. So I read like orange, yellow, green, whatever. So if it's out of order, that's why. Crimson Spot says, I used to blog about anime back in 2010, still up on Bridge Bunnies. Thinking about recording them as videos. Do it, dude. Do it. Do it. Mr. Peepington Bruno says, hey, finally caught you up. Love watching all you cover, no matter what it is. Thank you. Ian Phillips says, I think Ethan is aiming to set precedent to get Hassan. I don't think that's wrong. I think Ethan may eventually get Hassan, particularly if Hassan keeps setting himself up for failure. If Hassan keeps putting himself out there and doing these things, he's giving Ethan ammo. Ethan may ultimately have a defamation case against Hassan because of how deep he's going against him. But that's what I've talked about on the internet. Content creators are getting way too comfortable, particularly on Twitch, with defamation. And Twitch is not enforcing what the law is. It's not enforcing their own TOS. They're just going wild. So Twitch is setting itself up for liability, and so are the individual creators. So I think defamation on the internet is a huge issue legally, and I think people get away with way more than they would. And by the way, these creators would only get away with it in America, because a lot of these creators, like Hassan, he joked about, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. He joked about living in Japan. Hassan would be in a Japanese jail with the level of defamation he commits. Let me say it again. He'd be in a Japanese jail because the way defamation works in Japan is a much higher standard, meaning it's easier to prove than in America. So a lot of these creators could not ever live outside the US because they would be in a jail, right? Or they would be sued till they're penniless. It would be a real big problem. Bella Stella for 36 months says, congrats, Senpai. It's been one awesome ride. Look forward to what's coming. Thanks, Bella. And Bella's been around for just as long as Tank Rat, so congrats to you. Dart Twirling for 20. Great channel, given the riffs, the diss tracks to Somali. Yo, 300K subs. Legal's on the rise, dropping truth bombs, cutting through the lies. From the courtrooms to the chaos, he breaks it down. Now he's sitting on the throne with the digital crown. TLM, what can I do for you? Thank you. That's good. I like those bars. That's good. It's good. Fat Factor for 10 says, congrats to 312. 312 is a name given to a lot of Ferraris. You know what that means? Time for a Ferrari, complete with a mural of nuisance streamers being blasted out of Ricadas. Look, I'm not a car guy. If you're a car guy, that's awesome. I'm not a car guy. Obviously, I live abroad. I don't have a car, although I may buy one eventually for purposes. But that if you're a car guy or a motorcycle guy or a plane guy, boat guy, do your thing, man. And that's awesome. I mean, there's people out there that collect cars. If that's your passion, go ahead and do that. It's awesome. Mr. MC 2003 says, got some cool ideas for Cabbage plushie, including making a little ball and chain with a cute crying anime face. You can send RK. I want to keep him company. The Cabbage plushie is highly requested, but I need to get some help on that because that's one of the things I can't do myself. Joby says, you never read the example of when it's done well. Michael Rua says, Hassan knows he's wrong. He's going for the current narrative, and he's going for what works on other people. And Hassan, to be honest, and I'm going to put some money in the swear jar for this, Hassan fucked with the wrong guy, and he fucked with the wrong part of the internet. He fucked with LawTube, and he doesn't understand that LawTube stays 10 toes to the ground on the law. That's what I respect about my fellow LawTubers that are actually covering the law, not the people on the drama and everything else, but the LawTubers talking about the law. They stand on the law, and you cannot screw with LawTubers. You really can't. That's the difference between us and the rest of the internet is we will stand on the law and we'll fight you on the law. And we're not going to back down because you threaten us with stuff that's not legal. Okay, fine, whatever. How does that change the law? How does it make you win in court? How does it make a judge agree with you? Like, you can do all that stuff. You can say all the slander in the world. You're still going to lose in court, right? You can say anything nasty about me or any other LawTuber out there on the internet. You're going to lose in court. It's not going to change your case. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Exotic Ken says, Kopun Cop for the continued excellence. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yindi, Honda Civic as a new member. Amos supposed to be reached out, Andrew Esquire Live at gmail.com. Email me or hit me up on X, Legal Mindset, The Legal Mindset. Knights for 5, Romanian, I think. Says, can Ethan use Denham's and Frogan empty chair argument as a trap? There's no trap. It's a legal argument to get 2 judgments against a new claim against Hassan. I think they're going to want the precedent first, and then we'll talk. Let's see here. Okay, Jopi says, seriously, you're starting to annoy me. Read in the past tense. And it was a single super chat saying prior example was done poorly where you stopped reading. And the later half of it was when it's done well. Oh, I'm sorry. You had 2 different counter examples in terms of super chats. Sorry, the breaking up of super chats throws me off. I'm sorry. It's a reading them in a different order thing. DJ K says, for the swear jar. Thank you. Big Buddha says, did you get my email I sent you months ago, the custom pleasure? Yes. And while I will get on that, I might need someone to work with the website to get it done. So that's the level of busy I am. I don't have time to do stuff like booking room reservations. I have to have help for that because I'm too busy. I have too much to do. Hypnotic and Rapture said, please link the female vocal cope and seeth. I'll probably put that up as a separate video. How about that? Golden Harpy said, loving your content. Never I get to see your lines because I work nights. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jim said it was a yellow super chat about suspension, but you only read half it. I mentioned it was an example done poorly, and that's when it's done well. Gotcha. Eagle Gallon says, Alicia's biggest simp. Thank you for the opportunity to join the team, Andrew. Congrats to the K. Here's to very more. Oh, thank you. Deadly List for 5 says, studied Japanese for 3 years in uni some years ago. Never reached a functional level. Moon runes are insanely difficult. G Gundam is best. I used to call Korean moon runes, but it's very obtainable if you can work at it. Okay, let's continue with this. Let's continue with the PP. All right, so VTuber's gonna have, and we're gonna have an anime stream. So anime streams will happen soon. I owe you guys one. So probably in Japan, I will do an anime stream because I feel like that fits the vibe. Is the anime stream next? Okay, we're gonna talk about culture now. This is a little bit okay. It's a little bit about grandpa mindset having to set down the rules here, but it's positive and negative. Okay, so going forward, understand that our focus is on objective legal education and positive entertainment. Right now, obviously, we're going to make jokes. Obviously, sometimes some people get offended at jokes. I'm sorry. Sometimes my jokes may cross a line for you, but understand it's in the context of the education, the topic, the thing we're covering at the time, and sometimes it's going to piss you off a little bit. That's fine. Just try to keep listening and understand my intent is entertainment and education. But I want to say in terms of going forward, a lot of people are new to the channel. And I know a lot of you may have come over from Asmongold and you may not know our chat culture or our general culture on the channel. And I just want you guys to know that the general culture on the channel is you can ask questions as long as they are reasonable, as long as they're something that's not made out of bad faith. So don't drama bait, right? I'm not going to get involved in personal drama between other creators or personal drama between those creators and me. I don't answer those questions. And even if you send me a super chat, I'm not going to read it, or I might skip it, or I might half read it, or I might just exclude it, right? I try to read everything and I will read everything, not perfectly, sometimes out of order, right? But I don't want to get involved in that because I don't want my channel to be about that. I want it to be objective law and asking and answering reasonable questions. So if you have a reasonable question, I will answer that. But if it's a loaded question, I'm not going to answer that, right? So if you were to ask, well, why is Hassan, if you were to say Hassan is right and you're wrong, okay, what does that say about anything, right? Or Hassan is a good guy and you're a bad guy. Okay, but where's the question, right? But wherever, as you ask, oh, well, isn't this legal defense something that would work in his favor? Like, for example, when Hassan defamed somebody and you bring up New York Times versus Sullivan, and the fact that the person he defamed is a public figure and another big streamer. Let's say when Hassan defames Asmongold or Tectone or whoever else, right? And if we're talking about, let's say, hypothetically, Hassan defaming Tectone, and you say, hey, isn't New York Times versus Sullivan, the public figure standard, something that would work in Hassan's favor? I will do a legal analysis of that, and I will tell you about that, and I will be honest about that. That's a good question. A bad question is, well, I hate Asmongold, and I love Hassan. Okay, well, what has that changed about the law? And I'm not telling you who to like and who not to like. If you want to like Hassan, that's your choice. You can be your own judge and do your own thing. But I'm going to tell you what the law is, right? Also for the mango and sticky rice, thank you. That's a good one. Armand says our lawyers come so far. I try. So don't drama bait. Everyone is welcome here, no matter what your political spectrum is, no matter what your country, no matter what your background, age, race, gender, whatever. Everybody is welcome here. And what I don't want to promote, and especially in the chat, if you guys start getting into any arguments about any sort of stuff like that in the chat, you need to calm that down. Danielle or JP will time you out. Cool down about that. Let's focus on the law. Let's focus on asking legal questions. Let's focus on legal analysis. Focus on reasonable argument. And if we focus on that, that's cool. You're good in the chat. You're good to go. But if you're just going and spamming all caps and you're just yelling at somebody else, you're going to catch a ban, right? That's just what it is. I believe in free speech, but I don't believe in the right of others to take a poop on my lawn. And if you get that, it means in their channels, they can do whatever they want, although they may get in legal trouble. They can do whatever they want. I don't control their chat. I'm not also calling for people to be deplatformed simply because they said a thing that's legal. If you're saying stuff that's legal, then it's fine. But you don't have the right to come into my chat and to act however you want. And you don't have the right to come into my chat and say something that you could get away with in somebody else's chat here. So you will be cracked down on if you come in here and you try to break our chat rules, or you try to come and bait drama or bait something else. It's not going to work. I'm not going to take the bait. My mods are going to ban you. Don't do it, right? Just don't do it. And I'm not going to even acknowledge you. So you're not even going to get my attention, right? A lot of other streamers, they acknowledge the weirdos. I don't even acknowledge you. Kid Logan said, don't think so. Maverick's quote. Yeah. Muzzy gifted 20 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Muzzy. Very, very big.
Yes.
Also, last thing, respect the guests, the mods, and the topics. Now, I may have more guests in the future. I've been very solo and very independent, but I do expect to have some guests on the channel who are come on the channel and they talk and they get into the discussion. Just respect them and ask respectful questions of them. Also, respect the mods. Danielle, JP, they have my full authority. If they do something, it's something I want them to do. Right? Neither one of them is doing something that I wouldn't want them to do. Don't come in there and attack them or yell at them or say, oh, they're unfair. No, I agree with them and I back them up 100%. Respect them. Also, try to respect each other in the chat and try to respect the topic and try to respect the general environment we have on the chat. That's all. Very easy. Next, this is my commitment, my promise to you guys as we go towards 500,000 and 1 million subs. This is what I'm going to do for you, right? I'm going to continue to give you the best information on current legal news in a fun way. I'm going to try my best not to be boring as hell. And we're going to try to be factual. Now, I know some things may be crazy.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
But if something is made up, if we find out something is BS, if I make a mistake or I exclude relevant info, I will update you and correct what I said. And I will say that is wrong and I'll update you. One big example of this is with the sentencing. I made a mistake initially with the estimates I made on the Somali sentencing because we did not have an English translation of the sentencing guidelines. Once we got those, I updated everybody and I told you the real numbers. I didn't have that information before. So if I have new information, even if it contradicts me, I will report that to you guys. So you know the truth and not the BS, right? Also, real quick, speaking of not BS, got to catch this one. 50 legal mindset memberships from Tank Rat. You know what that's got my haters doing right now. That's right.
You are coping the seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping the seething. The truth it is all day, and now you are more.
So much cope right now, seeing the big love. Thank you for that, Tank Rat. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Laughing Mrs. Nux Taco loves you. Please have a live hangout. Yeah, he's a great creator. I have a special thanks for him coming up in a second. Good stuff. Michael Rua says, just joined a bit ago. What responsibility does Hassan have regarding his law-breaking mods? You govern your channel the way you want to govern it, but what really will come up is the association. If Hassan chooses to have a mod that's a criminal or does something wrong and they're caught, that's going to look bad for his personal brand, period. It's going to look bad for him, period. And people aren't going to want to advertise on Twitch. Twitch could die because all the advertisers are going to go away if they're a bunch of criminals or if they're a bunch of people that are breaking the law, defaming people left and right. Advertisers aren't going to want to be on Twitch, and that's the real punishment. Unhinged Valkyrie for 10 pounds for the swear jar, thank you. And Crimson Splat for 10 legal mindset memberships.
Emotional cabbage.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the big support today. It's been awesome. Everybody coming out and giving big support. Jopie says one SC with just an example of when done well. In Japanese storytelling, they're great at world building and setting the world's own logic rules, which then differs from IRL logic. Correct. That's very correct, Jopie. Thank you. And sorry we took a couple to sort that out. I'm glad we got that fixed. Mayor Manu Handa says, I love your content for 100. So love your content, but you got to get better in the Windows Movie Maker intro. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I know. We're going to upgrade all that. We're going to upgrade all of that. That's part of what's coming. Michael Schmidt, 3012. Wow. Prost aus Deutschland. Prost. We're going to have a prost in a second. Benjamin says, please say fart poop. Bloomster John says, there are many public court documents from the Destiny case now available. Plans for a follow-up. Content is prime. No, not really. Because what I said is going to happen in that case. It's going to settle. Eventually. Just even for nuisance value, it's going to settle. Dementran 99 as a new member. The Quark for 20 says, congrats on 300K. Here's a little something for my baseball card fund for you to celebrate. Keep up the good work. 1 million subs by year end. I hope so. I truly hope so. Archer Dune Rider said, did someone say swear jar emoji? Oh, I need to get that. Oyamata says, deleting evidence is a no-no for criminal cases. Is the same for civil? Yes. Frogan deleted all of her VODs and clips. Yes, it can be. Yes. Saul Rothman for Canadian 5 says, you can never piss me off because facts aren't emotional. You should do a legal analysis on Mike from PA, the worst. I might. A lot of people have brought this guy up, and I probably should do that. Tiffany Dutrill says, Jeff was a great man. He was covering the Lauren Owens Clayton Eckerd case. Fake BJ babies. A great place to catch up. That's a crazy one. That's a crazy case. A woman gave a guy a BJ and then said she was pregnant from the BJ. That's real. That's real.
No. Wait.
Who cares says, are there any updates about Vitaly? Yes, but not big enough for me to report on yet. So I have some minor updates. We might do a minor Vitaly one, but not big enough yet. Uric says, congrats on the milestone. Off to run 9 miles, and this makes a good podcast. Awesome. All right, let's continue here. So I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you the reality the best I can. I'm going to make some mistakes along the way, but I will update those as much as I can. So I will promise to be as honest as I can based on the current information, which will sometimes change. Now I want to give some special thanks. And here's where we're going to have some shots. We're probably going to have at least two shots here. Maybe 5 shots. We'll see. We'll see how we go. So the first shot, and I'll make a baby shot. It's a baby shot, not a big shot. Not a big shot. The first one is the LawTube. So I want to give a big shout out to all the LawTubers that helped me along the way. Nate, Uncivil Law, even EDB, who I look up to EDB. You know, we don't get to talk as much now. She's a cool kid. She got a big channel, but she does a lot of things right and professionally. So I look up to that. Also, once again, Legal Vices. I got Legal Vices into YouTube. So he taught me a lot despite being smaller than me at the time. I was always twice or 3 times or sometimes 10 times the size. But he always taught me about being a better content creator. So shout out to all those people. Emily D. Baker is EDB. Emily D. Baker. Uncivil Law, great lawtism, great knowledge of law. Nate, who really does well in the algorithm with pre-produced videos and topics, and he's always innovating and trying stuff differently. Also, fun fact, like a lot of these creators, they're politically on the left. They're not like righty-rightists, you know? They're not like, as Hassan would say, ultra MAGA, but I still respect the hell out of them, right? Even people that are LawTubers that are completely the opposite side of them, I respect them because they're doing fair and accurate and a good legal analysis. We can all be friends, and Nate's a good example of that, right? He's on the left. There are people that I can be friends with, and we would not agree politically, but we can talk about the law and we can have a reasonable conversation. And I love that. That's what I love about LawTubers. And it's great to be part of that community in the sense that we're not part of some commune where we all talk about what's going to happen, but we respect each other. We cover a lot of the same topics, a lot of the same stuff. And that's awesome. We can all win together. And I want to say a big shout out. Oh yeah, potentially criminal Sean, underdog there. I'll give some love for Sean. Sean does good stuff and Sean does what he wants and he has a full-time job. Big respect for those guys out there. And a lot of these guys have brick and mortar operations. They're doing their own stuff. Some of them are now full-time YouTubers. Some of them have a little bit of a practice, a little bit of a YouTube. Some are like me. They're mostly YouTube and a tiny little practice, but it doesn't matter. We're all lawyers. We all have our own specialties. And the one thing that's awesome about LawTube is that we can turn to each other for our specialties. In the Disney special district stuff, I did real estate law in Florida. Literally, I created special districts. So I was like the perfect person on the internet to talk about that topic because I knew more than anybody else on the internet, certainly any lawyer. And we all can turn to each other for these things we're specialists about. So that's the really cool thing. And I love that about those guys. They're really great. So shout out to those guys for helping me kick it off. My channel wouldn't be here unless I started with LawTube. So shout out to that for all the LawTubers who got me started. Someone mentioned in the chat, I didn't include legal. Here's why. First of all, I never have talked to the guy. And yes, he was an inspiration in terms of like, I saw his success and I'm like, oh, I can do this too. But by and large, he doesn't do the same type of content as the LawTubers, which often are streamers versus doing pre-produced videos. So he's always done pre-produced videos that are highly edited, highly manufactured, which is fine. And they're successful. And there's a lot of good in doing that and smart in doing that. But he's never was a streamer guy. So yeah, that's why I just don't put him there because it wasn't really a deeper inspiration. Jay Good is a new member. Clan for 200 days. Chrono found you during the Nietzsche Sanji days and stuck around. If you haven't had too much already, Skal. Oh no. Okay, we'll get to next one. We're coming up on the next one. Pro, who by the way, Pro, thanks for reaching out and giving some love. The Disney arc got me through about a year on YouTube and kept me fed, kept the lights on, kept me living in an apartment in Seoul. So thank you for Pro and also my good friend Valiant Renegade. He's on this list here. For helping me through that arc, being there, jumping on streams with me. While I don't cover Disney stuff as much anymore, I appreciate that. I learned from that and I grew a lot from that. So shout out to you, brother. New article on that Park Place covering story. Thank you. Jeffrey Scott for 5. Thank you so much for the 5. Also, Steve Gosney. Yes, Steve Gosney. Now, Steve Gosney is Steve Gosney is a personal friend of mine. So Steve Gosney is not really as much a LawTuber. He's a lawyer. He's a real lawyer who does real law. And he is a personal friend of mine. I met him. I met his family. They're lovely people. They're great people. He is a great dad. He's a great husband. So Steve, if you're out there, I love you. Appreciate you. You're good, but that's a personal thing. You know, Steve is a personal friend of mine on a higher level. Luna, 18 for 10 pounds. When a crime is committed online and a victim is overseas, under whose jurisdiction does the legal action take place? The victims or the offenders? That's interesting because they would argue both, right? So obviously each one of them will want it to be in their own country. So that's the problem with international lawsuits. It's a huge gap in the law. So for example, if I'm battling with Hassan Piker, we'd have to argue, okay, where is the defamation coming into place? Let's say I'm suing him for defamation. I could argue it happens in Thailand and that he has a problem in Thailand because I'm in Thailand. I have a Thai business. I'm operating and making money in Thailand. So I have a work permit here. I'm totally legal resident. I could argue here and I could argue that the venue is proper here. He would argue he made the defamation from LA. So I need to go to LA, right? So that's a big thing with this is that you need to think about, okay, where is it? And the advantage of the plaintiff is to be able to shop those. So the plaintiff can say, okay, is it advantageous for me to sue him here or there? And if I get a judgment here, can I enforce it against him there? Very interesting legal questions. Yakeda for 2, the Emperor Protects. What's your favorite 40K faction? Oh man, that's hard. I'll tell you who it isn't. It's not the Tau. I don't like the Tau. They suck in melee. Obviously, I like Space Marines. Everyone likes Space Marines. But beyond that, honestly, the Guard. I like the Guard because the Guard are like they're like the fodder. But like I just read all the stories about the Guard, like Caiaphas Cain, etc. Like I just identify with them because they they go up with like flashlights against the most crazy things in the universe, right? They're like fighting Necrons and orcs and chaos and everything else. And they're just humans. They're just regular humans, right? They're just regular humans. I like orcs because they're fun, but orcs are just like, they're like comedy gold. Orcs are comedy gold. J Good for 10. Thank you. This is Farming Dragon says, prost to you and Jeff. Seeing Legal Vices on your special thanks. Maybe tear up. I miss him. Congrats. I miss him too. Guys, here's my personal friend. He's not an internet friend. This is a guy I met with every time I was in Korea. We met up personally. He knew my friends. He knew my girlfriend in Korea. He knew everybody. He was a guy who knew more about me personally and professionally than probably anybody else. I could talk to him about anything. He could talk to anyone. You sit down with Jeff and you're his friend in a minute, unless you're an asshole. If you're a good person, you're friends with Jeff in a minute. Katie, also, someone's like Katie stands. Yes, Katie stands. And also, cheers again to Jeff. That's a good one. Woof. Spicy. Oh, yeah. Someone mentioned for the guard, the normal life expectancy is 20 seconds. Yeah. Crazy. Asian Dragon says, just like Kick, and if Twitch and Kick don't follow strict TOS guidelines, then advertisements should bring contract to end cooperation of Twitch and Kick. Just generally, they need to be boycotted by advertisers. If the advertisers and sponsors pulled out, they would change in a minute. The purse strings are the way to hit them, not necessarily the court, guys. The court isn't always the best way. And I say this as a corporate lawyer. It's the money. How are they making money? And how can you stop them from making money? And that's not always by suing them, because oftentimes they can just pay the lawsuit. They can actually take an L, pay the lawsuit, and move on. And many companies do this. In fact, famously, automakers would include defects that they knew were defects because they knew they could pay for them. They said, hey, if we put in this cheap bolt or this cheap gas tank, I'm looking at you, Pinto, right? And we know it has a chance to explode, but even the lawsuits resulting from this are less than the cost of doing the fix. We're going to do that. And they do it knowingly. So you have to go after the money. You have to go look at where the real money is. And that's not always in a lawsuit. And I know people don't like to hear that because they think suing should be the first thing. But as a lawyer, I'm telling you, that's the real sauce. Chris and Chip says Adpocalypse, but for Twitch. Yes. Armando Limon says Frogan's true name is Frogert because they're both cursed. Oof. Who cares says gonna scratch your legal mind. Ooh, nice. How accurate is how to get away with murder when it comes to legality and how you can get away with it? Not real. A lot of the stories are like partly true, but partly not, because they're kind of taking liberties with the law and they're kind of stretching things out. I vaguely remember that, but I don't think it's completely accurate. Like, for example, people ask me how accurate is Suits. Not really. Right? Most legal shows, they piss lawyers off because we watch them and we're like, that wouldn't happen like that. That person would be disbarred. This person would go to jail. This person is breaking confidentiality. And all these things would add up. QB said, a bit off topic, Kanata is known as PP Teenish for his debut using PP. Will Legal Mindset be PP Mindset for based and informed PP? Probably. I guess we have to keep the PPs across platforms. Knuckles says, congrats on 300K. Been lurking since Nietzsche Sanji. Keep up the fantastic work. Greetings from Germany. Greetings. Guten Tag. Darth Trillian says, I used your Better Call Hank image for the diss track. Hope you don't mind me getting inspired. No problem. Use away. Lee L. Eagle, disciple of Wah, for 50,000 dong. Says, base law, man. Hit 300K. Congrats. Still patiently waiting for your VTuber debut. Take your time. Thank you. And Graham for £5 says, if Johnny Somali gets a massive sentence, will other countries change laws to follow South Korea? Yes. I think Japan would follow for sure. If South Korea goes hard, Japan will follow. Raven said, do we need a PP emote? We may. Tank Rat, also for 10, says, I miss Jeff too. He was a great man. He is a great man. He will always be in history and time a great man. I wish I had a chance to meet him. I still can't bring myself to cancel my Fallen Angels membership to his channel. I kept it going until other stopped. Thank you. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's hard for me to go to Busan. That's his home city, because I remember all the things. I did all the things with him. It's tough. So I get this feeling, man, 100%. But, the best thing you can do for somebody that's passed away is live like they'd want you to live. And I know for sure Jeff will be here partying with me, doing soju with me, probably whiskey because he likes whiskey better. But he would be here with me celebrating and having a good time. So that's what I can do for him, is to have a good time, right? All right, let's continue. Obviously, with the Somali conviction team, Guys, the Somali conviction team is not me. There are, I'm going to say, about a dozen people on the Somali conviction team, whether informally or formally or tangentially or else helping out. Somali conviction is an international, including Koreans, locals, team of people working together to get this guy. And the way you win abroad, this is a big tip for those that want to live abroad. And I'm going to do a lot more stuff to help people who want to move abroad or want to just digital nomad, or maybe you want to go abroad for 3 months, 6 months. I'm going to do a lot more to help you guys. But beyond that, you have to work with locals. And throughout this process, we have been working with Koreans, and we've been listening to Koreans, both Koreans, Americans, Kyopo, whatever, and working together to get this guy. And my Somali coverage is only big because of them, because of Koreans, because of Korean lawyers, because people helping me. So shout out to Korea. Shout out to everybody who helped there. Shout out to the expats, everybody on that team. You guys are amazing. Next is the streamers. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who's helped me, or whether directly or indirectly. And this is not an all-inclusive list. There's a lot of people that help me. I just want to put some big ones, especially from different topics. Obviously, there's more, right? There's way more. People like Atozi, who gave me some really good mentorship. I call him Grandpa Atozi because he brought up the limit the cursing and the curse jar. So I've implemented that, and it's helping a lot. It really is. So thank you, Grandpa, for that one. And he's given me a lot of mentorship behind the scenes too. So thank you for that. Asmongold. Now, I have not spoken to Asmongold. We have never talked ever directly. However, a lot of how he presents and streams is very inspiring for how to cover topics, and also the vibe generally that he carries and the positivity, taking things lightheartedly. It generally is a good thing. And I know a lot of his viewers came over here. I know a lot of you guys from the last 20,000 subs. I've seen a ton of Asmongold, also a ton of Tectone people, which is why Tectone's on there. Tectone I've talked to more, and he's given me some good advice, some mentorship on handling haters, good stuff. And I'm cool with him now. But thank you for that. Thank you, everybody who came over here from Asmongold and Tectone. I appreciate all y'all. Hope you like my content. Hope you like the channel. Nux, False, Rima, the people who helped me with the VTuber arc, all good people. A lot of people hate on VTubers. A lot of people are irrationally hate on VTubers. VTubers are not going anywhere. And no matter how many people try to hate on VTubers, they are never going to go away. They can try to target one or two VTubers and try to make people, react or something like that. Or maybe they'll go off the internet for a while. They'll scare some small VTuber. They're never going to get rid of the industry. The industry is growing. It's booming. It's going to be there forever. So people who want to try to get rid of VTubers are insane. And people who don't even give them the time of day to understand that industry and also understand the huge, massive legal issues. That industry, still today, even post Niji Sanji, my coverage of Niji Sanji just woke people up. But we are going to have some massive legal issues in the VTuber industry, some massive scandals, some massive stuff. We're talking like company abuse. We're talking about stuff that involves, I don't even want to say it, stuff that involves power abuse, if you know what I'm talking about, like superior and inferior. We're going to talk about all that stuff. VTubing is going to have so many issues. And the problem is the international element, the lack of regulation, just letting it slip through the cracks, right? And these people know it, and they're on it. So shout out to those creators. Also shout out to Valiant Renegade, who helped me with the Disney coverage. He's a great friend of mine. He's a super smart guy in real life and in his coverage. And despite the fact that I no longer cover Disney, I appreciate the people that helped me on the way there. So to everybody on YouTube, to all the other creators that helped me to get there on YouTube and that helped me come up with the way I structure my channel. Cheers to you guys. We learn from each other, and YouTube is a win-win-win field. It's something that you can have abundance. You don't have to knock other creators down. You can win too. And if you're an aspiring YouTuber, remember that mindset that you don't need to knock other creators to win. You can just do good content. You can promote other people's content. You can be positive. You can do charity streams. Shout out to Donut Operator, who just raised a bunch of money for the Texas flood. I retweeted that, right? He also raised money for Dalgun. He gave Dalgun like $4,000 just to help him out, right? we can do positive things together. So shout out to the people that have helped people grow and help people be positive. Cheers to you. Yeah. Oh yeah. And people, and there's going to be weirdos on the internet forever as well. And we're going to cover them and mock them legally. Chaos Smash says 300K VTuber collab with Common America. Maybe it could happen. I'm not writing any collab off, especially in the VTuber sphere. Gamercrom says, let's go 300K. Next milestone 400K. We're going to do it. Unhinged for £5 says, what about special thanks to the Scuff? The Scuff? Really? Really? We're gonna thank the Scuff?
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Appreciate you though, Warranty Boy. Let's get Warranty Boy for 50. Sorry, I appreciate you, Unhinged. Warranty Void for 50. Thank you so much. Yes. Now I'm getting tipsy, finally, after like a certain amount of shots. All right, that's 50. Thank you so much for that. Asian Dragon says, and special thanks to Mom and Trill. Yes, they're awesome creators. It's so wholesome to see a mom, like a mom duo, mom kid duo doing content, having fun together. I just think that's awesome. That to me is awesome. Dantaza, which goes with my next topic, by the way. Dantaza for 1,000 says, our favorite VTuber company is now Predator Protector Act, I think. Time to stir up the hornet's nest. Really? I haven't heard about that one at all. So you gotta fill me in on that. Email me on that. Digital TA says, about VTubers, expect new clips in the email. Awesome. I'm always love new clips. Olga says for 15, following the if shows are real, how the investigation is being conducted. Who is it? Sometimes sounds like there's a private investigator. Yeah, and that's the thing is that a lot of these shows are leaving out details. They're leaving out important details that are critical to the analysis or critical to how things played out. So obviously, if you have enough money to pay for a private investigator, yeah, your case is going to go a little bit differently than those that don't and rely on the police. That's very true. Big Buddha said, Scuff equal charm. Scuff is supreme content. It's cultured content. I agree. Nala said, shout out to the PP. Thank you. Brandon said, collab Legal Eagle. Tell you what, if Legal Eagle wanted to collab with me on something, I would be open-minded to it. Now, I'm not going to debate him on politics, right? I'm not going to debate him on politics. But if he wanted to talk about the law, I will talk about the law, even with the Eagle, even with the Schmeagle, right? But he's got to talk about the law, right? We're not getting into a political discussion. We're not getting into drama. We're not getting into whatever. If he wants to talk about the law, well, let's talk. We could do it. Right? All right. Friends and family. I got to have a special thanks to all my friends and family. Now, you guys don't know this, but like I talk about this. My friends watch my channel. My family watches my channel, right? My direct relatives, my indirect relatives, my mom. My mom's my biggest fan. Shout out, Mom. I love you. You're great. Watched all my videos. I wouldn't have done it without them. They support me behind the scenes. They are the ones I talk to about this stuff. While they don't understand the struggles that creators have because they're not creators, they're the ones that keep me sane and I can vent to them and talk to them about stuff. So thank you to all my friends and family that listen to me about my crazy YouTube stuff. And all of you out there, I will say this. If you're a creator, you should rely on your friends and family and trust them and talk to them. That's so important. And remember, we only have one family. That's what we're born with. We choose our friends, but we're born with our family. So, try your best to be there and to do what you can with those that you have. And, choose your friends wisely, right? Because you do choose your friends. So choose positive friends, choose helpful friends. That's really helped me out in my life. So shout out to all of them. I guess I got to do a shot for Mom, right? I mean, you got to do one for Mom, right? I mean, Mom would want me to do a shot for her. I mean, now she'll probably text me being concerned about me drinking for her, but it's all right. So that's for Mom. That's for all those, and all those moms and dads out there, everybody out there, and the grandpa, grandma, all you guys, appreciate that. All right. And last but not least, and we're definitely doing a shot for this one. To all you channel members and subscribers. So without you guys on the channel, supporting me, subscribing, giving memberships on my locals, liking stuff, following me on on X, Twitter, whatever, Zitter, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing that. So special shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are the best. You guys are fun. You ask great questions and you make me laugh. Edgeworth says shout out to the Ko-Fi and the channel mods. Yes, the Ko-Fi still up. Ko-Fi /Andrew Esquire. to support the channel and the coverage. That's still up. Still up. Norbert Froelich says, why do people hate on VTubers? Not my thing, so I just don't watch. The VTuber situation reminds me of K-pop companies treat their idols. That's what it is. They're using the K-pop or the J-pop model of entertainment, and that's why it's problematic. People hate on them because they don't understand them, because they think it's some weird thing, or they think it's something that is wrong. But sometimes people just want to be entertained. Some people want to just turn off their brain and relax and enjoy a nice stream with somebody that's doing something fun. That might be singing a song, or might be covering baking content or cooking or whatever else, right? They just want to just enjoy and have fun and enjoy the chat and have inside jokes, like, and have a community. Like, that is why people love VTubers. And the fact they do it coupled with anime, coupled with a love of Japanese culture, like, yeah, it's a great thing. But anyways, shout out to you VTuber lovers, enjoyers that are my members and subscribers, and as well as the people that are my members from Somali or from Ethan Klein or anything else. Yeah, I actually keep it together pretty good, even though I'm a person who it's very hard to tell when I'm at a certain point. Yeah, definitely not slurring though. Not there yet. But yeah, Kampai to you guys. Cheers. Chan in Korean, or Chongao in Thai, if you will. But Prost, German. Salut for those over there in the Romance languages. Cheers to you guys. Good stuff. Appreciate all of you guys. All 2,500 of you right now. All right. Is that what we got? That's what we got. That's what we got. There's a cheers at the end. It had to be an anime version. So that's the PP. That's what I got. It's always a good PP. I think that was a solid PP. PP's in the chat for the PP. Right. But I think we're going to get to 400 very, very soon. I see 400 before the end of the year as an inevitability, like a Thanos inevitability. Oh, who said Nazdrovia? Who said Nazdrovia? I love that. I love that. I shout out to all my people, my Eastern Europe people, my people over in Poland. I have so many Polish friends. They're so cool, so based. Czech Republic, Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Slovenia, Slovakia. I've been to all those great places, great countries. Check them all out. If you guys get a chance of traveling, travel is one of the things that's enriched my life, and it's made me learn to love the positive things and the cool things about every country and culture in the world. There's so many cool cities, cool countries, and everybody should check them out and enjoy them for what they are. You may not want to live there, you may not want to move abroad, but it's one of the things that's enriched my life, and I think that for those that have the opportunity and the blessing and the financial resources to do it, do it. I think it will give you a better perspective on life. Let me get some super chats here. Shizamaru Takuma says, from Disney to Niji until now, we're here for you. Thank you. Teabag JT said, are you going to expand the use of Discord? Because it's a massive area you can expand. Yes, but honestly, I don't have enough time to be active on it. I am very inactive on my Discord. I created my Discord purely out of the audience asking for it, not because I wanted to do, some massive stuff on Discord. I never wanted to, and once again, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I don't have the time to do it. I literally do not have the time to check Discord. So I feel bad that I don't do more for it, and I will work on what I can do for it and what I can contribute to it and the area it fills. That's going to change, right? Obviously, over time. I like Discord for DMing people, for contacting creators, for that sort of stuff. I think it's a good tool for that. With the community, yeah, it's members only, guys. So obviously you have to become a member for that. It's not general public. It's not general use. You got to become a member. It's a thing, right? But we will think about that and redoing that. Once again, it may come with the channel updates. So yes, that may come. Quark as a new member. Welcome. John Palomo said, have you watched Gurren Lagann? Of course I have. Of course I've drilled the heavens. Of course my drill has pierced the heavens. Fantastic Mecha. Also One Piece. Yeah, no, Gurren Lagann is great. I actually thought Gurren Lagann, yeah, and yes, it's BLM or paying locals members for Discord. So I thought Gurren Lagann was a joke and was BS, and then I watched it, and there were points of Gurren Lagann I almost was crying. Gurren Lagann is not about mecha. It's mecha, but it's not about mecha. It's about more than mecha. The story there, the people there, the connections. Yeah, believe in me who believes in you. It's such a good story. Such a good story. Such a good story, Gurren Lagann. So yes, I highly recommend and endorse that anime. Hypnotic and Rapture said more Hypnotic, Nux, and Smash JT collaborations. Yeah, sure. I would just say, I'm willing to collab with everybody, but let's talk about legal topics, right? Now, with Smash, he needs to lay off on the Alyssa stuff because he's in an active lawsuit. But if he wants to talk about another lawsuit, if he wants to talk about Hassan or something like that, yeah, let's collab, right? For sure. Kairos Ka says, hello from Greece. Hey, shout out. I love Greece. The islands are great. Nikon for €5 says, are there real lawyers like Saul Goodman out there? And do you like the character or style? Theoretical. I like that meme. I like the Saul Goodman meme, right? There are lawyers like that, sort of, but they don't have there's seedy lawyers, but they often don't have these mafia connections or these underworld connection stuff that you see with Saul. So Saul is like an extreme archetype of that. Those do exist. I will say this, more of those exist abroad. Right. There are seedy lawyers abroad, so you do have to sort them out, right? And find the good ones, find the good beans. But there are people that are sort of like Saul Goodman. They have elements of Saul Goodman. That's very true. Who cares says, can we just clone Legal Mindsets so we can have him in every place? You can do legal coverage, Discord mod, anime stream on go. I wish I could do that. I wish I had a clone, but there's only one. That's why people are subscribed. That's how we got to 300K, because there's only one Legal Mindset and it cannot be duplicated anywhere on the internet. You only get this coverage here. You only get this style here. You only get this scuff here. And on that note, let's do the parting shot here today, guys. To 1 million subs, to 2 million subs, to all you guys that got us 300, to those that were here at 10,000, to those that were here at 5,000, maybe even 1,000 subs. Thank you guys for getting me here. Appreciate you so much. Cheers. And don't be coping. And see.
You are coping the seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping the seething. The truth it is all day, and now you are more than you're coping so hard. Coping, you're seething.